覚悟してろよ。行くぜ。
Welcome to Warburger Coo's Reviews. I'm your host, Warburger Coo, and today we are reviewing Marvel Legends Ka-zar and Zabu. We'll start with the figure that I like the least, but it's still a good figure. This is Ka-zar, or Ka-zar. I remember, my first memory of this guy was watching X-Men shows with this guy in the animated series. At least I think that's where I saw him, or maybe it was a comic book. I can't remember. But this guy reminds me of a He-Man without really the strength to be He-Man. It's a good buck, except for the little sleeve thing they use here. I don't like the break, but other than that, it's a nice naked guy with nipples. So, and then a nice little accessory for the knife back there. Fur boots. Yeah, this guy's he's it. Although I kind of wish they just would have had him with toes. You know, just naked feet. You know, run around, have a good buck you can use for multiple things. Switch the torso and you're good to go. He has pretty much basic articulation. He's got the butterfly joints. He's got the pinless knee joints, elbows, all that stuff. I mean, there's not a whole bunch to this guy. The head is really nice though. I really do like the head. Pause. So yeah. Although they could have put a little bit of paint here on the top of the spear, and his hands could have been a little bit better because he has like a gun shooting hand, and he doesn't shoot guns. I mean, that's kind of crazy. He does have two pairs of fisted hands, so he can punch some mofos. Then he has two of those like grasping, I'm gonna choke you hands, balls, and then two trigger finger hands to shoot people up. That's what he does. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with him. There's not much else to Ka-zar. He's not the tallest guy, he's not the shortest guy. Here he is next to a couple different figures. My Deadpool I've had for the longest. I almost got another one, but don't need it. So, he's about standard size for a Marvel Legends figure. Let's put him in with one more figure. Somebody who he would know. Wolverine, and that's a good height difference there. I like sushi. So there is Ka-zar. Now let's look at Zabu. Now Zabu, let's move this guy out the way. It's a nice, well, you can see the size discrepancy here. He is a big boy. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna have to angle my camera down a little bit better. Okay, so he's a big guy. Probably one of my favorite Marvel Legend build figures in a long time. It's an animal. I mean, you can't go wrong with the animal. And eventually I'll have a whole series where I just show nothing but Marvel Legends animals. And mine has a big paint splotch on his nose. I don't like that. Everything else is nice though. You can see all the shading he has. Darker fur up there. The fur down there. It's nice. The tail is articulated. Digitized paws and legs. Yeah, I do like this saber-toothed cat. I think it was definitely worth getting away just for this build figure alone. I will put him next to some other figures just so you can kind of see his scale next to a G.I. Joe Timber. And that, I feel like that's a good size scale. Okay, a wolf compared to that. Yeah, I like that size. Pause. I cannot find my panther, and I was really looking forward to putting those two next to each other, so I guess I won't be doing that. Let me see if I can find it. That didn't take too long. So I found my panther that came with my Dungeons & Dragons guy a while ago. Now, I think that's a bit off. I think the panther is actually a bit too big, because it's very long. Pause. But you can see from the waist it's definitely narrower. But I think it's just a bit, yeah, I don't think it's in scale if this is a panther. However, it is a panther from Dungeons & Dragons, so who knows how big they really were in that universe. You can see they both have articulated jaws, but they've just done a much better job on this newer one with the paints. One more figure, and then we'll be done with the comparisons. All right, we got Zabu next to the Rottweiler Mutt. No, not Mutt. Junkyard from G.I. Joe Classified, and I think that's a good size difference there. If I was that dog, I'd be terrified. This is one cat I would not play games with because he could get ate up quickly. So yeah, very nice figures. Let's get this thing zoomed back out. Since we got the Savage Land, I know you guys have been waiting patiently for the last part, which is Death by Snoo Snoo. So we're gonna have Ka-zar get destroyed by Shiva, the Amazon. I'm kidding, she's not an Amazon, and we're not doing that. The reason I still have them up and I have another 30 seconds left in this review is because I want you guys to see another Savage Land figure next to these guys, which is Savage Land Sauron. I always hate this guy's hips. His hips were always a bit off because they're like older hips. So I'm gonna have him next to Ka-zar, and that's a nice guy size. He's bigger, and put in Zabu, and he still looks rather threatening. So yeah, I like that. I feel like these two go good together. We're just missing one more for the Savage Land, and we're good to go. Hopefully we get her soon, so we can end this little pack of characters. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace and Ka-zar grease.